All right, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be watching tips, tricks, and hacks about the music industry. And any video that I find useful, I'm going to make some comments on it and break it down as we go along here. I'm not sure if you've ever seen some of the other content creators. They will post a couple of times a week, 3, 4 times a week, and they'll sit down and they'll watch a series of different YouTubes or TikToks or short form videos that they found throughout the week. Usually they're labeled something like creepy TikToks of this week, or 20 scary TikToks I found. One of my favorite people to watch, Barry Stepp, all-time #1 favorite. I love Right X7, Modtricka. They're all great people to watch. I know there's a lot of other people out there that do the same thing. However, I'd like to take that concept and translate it over towards what I'm interested mostly in. I mean, I love watching those, but I want to turn this into like something that I can start providing more value and using my skills and knowledge that I have through my experience, being able to relate that and hopefully pass that on to you. And I want to take that same concept and apply it towards the music and entertainment industry here. So today we're going to be watching tips, tricks, and hacks about the music industry. And as I find any video useful, I'm going to make some comments on it and break it down here. With that being said, let's go on. Again, my name is Brandon. You can find me on all social media at BSJ Music Pro. Feel free to reach out to me, send me a message. I'm always happy to talk to new people, collaborate, or if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer questions. So feel free to reach out. Don't be shy.
The coldest things about this business is most people are rich or famous. Very few people are both. I would ask you to take the time to understand what you're asking for, what you're trying to get involved in. Don't make the mistake that so many young artists that I keep running into are making, and that's thinking because you're talented, you are entitled to success. You are not. This is a cold, and I hate to be so sobering from the beginning, but this is a cold game, bruh. And the ones that make it through, they've learned lessons in ways that they wish they had. And I promise you, we probably all have at least one of those. I have a song on my discography that I can't claim, that I promise you, you've all heard. It's like the first song I ever worked on in my life. The Running Man Challenge. At night, I think of you. I worked on that shit in high school, bruh. Did not understand the business and took that L. So I'm saying, understand what you're trying to get involved in. It's scary. I'm not telling you to be afraid, but it is wise to respect it and the power that people are wielding out here. The smarter you are, the wiser you are, the less there is to be afraid of.
Great words of advice. I would say get to know the difference between masters, copyright, and publishing, if you get those 3 terms down, and then learn what you can and cannot write off in your own taxes and either get an accountant and tax person or learn to do it yourself. However, yeah, great advice. That's something that I think is really good. So as he was saying, learning from that mistake, back in high school, if he would have registered it with the Copyright Office, if he would have had contracts or split sheets made with who he was working on it with, and if he would have had the publishing registered already, all 3 of those things would have set him up for success without taking that L. So yeah, great video. I thought that'd be a good way to start it here.
Yo, the reason you're not winning on social media is because you're seeing other artists in the same lane as you as competition, when in all reality, you should be seeing them as distribution partners. Let me explain. So I help major labels and artists drop music on a global scale. And the last single campaign I just worked on, we dropped 5 pieces of content in the span of 24 hours, and it got our artists 1 million views organically and exposed them to a 94% non-follower audience. And we did that with a strategy I like to call barter distribution. What that basically means is we hit up artists in a similar genre with a similar size fan base and struck a deal with them to help promote our release. The way they're going to promote the music is on stories and email lists. And in return, we're going to do the same exact thing whenever they release their music. So instead of seeing your fellow artists as competitors, see them as distribution partners, because together you can build a huge network of fans organically. We could all have a piece of the pie and enjoy creating together.
I think that's pretty solid advice. What I want to point out about this video is I really enjoy the different shots that he has. So right here, the shot sitting on the stairs looking up, and it looks like he's using like a fisheye lens or maybe a wide angle. I'm not too familiar with the different types of lenses. Looks like right here, everything is just slightly distorted where he is a little bit smaller and everything else around him is just slightly distorted. And it happens again here. Right here, you can tell, looks like he's leaning back. However, he's not, so it's the lens. Could be an effect that they're using in CapCut or Photoshop or whatever afterwards. Could be an effect that they're using in CapCut afterwards, or some editing software. However, I really enjoy that about this video. Regarding what he was saying about looking at your other artists and friends as distribution partners, I think that if those people are set up with proper email lists and they have things going for them, that's great. Otherwise, if they don't have those channels in play, it's going to be overwhelming for all parties to keep a straight line of communication and kind of understanding where their numbers are sitting, because they'll need to be in constant communication back and forth with like, hey, we sent out 30 emails this month or this week or whatever, and 5 people responded to you more interested in this. That would have to be worked out somehow. So that would be towards more the structured independent artists, I would say.
Unfair that you only have 2 seconds to prove to somebody that your music is worth listening to, and I get it. You spend hundreds of hours on your music, you're on mix version 72, master version 9, and yet that viewer is going to give you 2 seconds max to prove that you're worth listening to. So you can either complain and fight it, or you can embrace it and use a 3-layer hook to capture attention. A 3-layer hook means starting your video off with 3 things happening all at once. Visual hook, emotional hook, and sonic hook. Visual hook is the first thing that someone sees when your video pops up on their...
So if you watch yesterday's episode, that's exactly what I talk about with the Zepp video. It's like instantly brings you into the visual. Next, he leads your eyes with attention, followed by sound, keeping your ears so fully immersing you into the experience that he's providing. You'll have to check out the last video because I go pretty in depth with that one. So yeah, let's just move on with this one. But he's right. He's definitely right. And it's not, I'm not saying like he's right, like it's right that we should all be doing this. I mean, we should, but it's not like that it's right morally or right as artists inherently feel. It's right for the business side. It's right to be exposing yourself. It's right to be gaining attention. So if you're trying to do those things, then it's right and it's correct. If you're trying to just live as a genuine artist and say, hey, I don't want to do any of the type of social media stuff, it's not right for you. However, if you're interested in stuff that this channel's for, and what I'm interested in is tips, tricks, and hacks on how to understand the business side of the music industry a little bit better.
An emotional hook is what is the emotion that's evoked in the first 2 seconds.
I'm going to start this one over here.
Of your video. Sonic hook is what's heard in the first 2.
Oh, TikTok.
You think it's unfair?
I'm going to start this one over here.
That you only have 2 seconds to prove to somebody that your music is worth listening to, and I get it. You spend hundreds of hours on your music, you're on mix version 72, master version 9, and yet that viewer is going to give you 2 seconds max to prove that you're worth listening to. So you can either complain and fight it, or you can embrace it and use a 3-layer hook to capture attention. A 3-layer hook means starting your video off with 3 things happening all at once. Visual hook, emotional hook, and sonic hook. Visual hook is the first thing that someone sees when your video pops up on their feed. An emotional hook is what is the emotion that's evoked in the first 2 seconds of your video. Sonic hook is what's heard in the first 2 seconds if that person has their volume on. When you combine these 3 things effectively, people will watch your video and hear your song. But the key is knowing exactly who your target audience is and crafting a 3-part hook that hits that target audience visually, emotionally, and sonically all in the first 2 seconds. It's an art, not a science, and if you master the 3-part hook, you will win.
Yep, I think that's correctly said. If you're trying to expose yourself, if you're working with an artist or you're an artist yourself and you want to get yourself out there, I think this is a great thing to take away, as having a 3-part hook.
Label because you wanted to keep control of everything, right? And you still not making any money through that label, right? Am I wrong? The thing about it is, owning a label doesn't mean that you own the rights to make money with the stuff that you created. You have to acquire the masters and the compositions. I ain't say nothing about publishing. Publishing is an action. The composition is the thing. Message! You got to set up those systems so that you can actually collect every revenue stream. Now this may, oh man, I just need to get my BMI together. I need to get my ASCAP. Man, you got much more to do than that. Well, I'm gonna just go to Songtrust or whatever like that. Okay, well then start letting them take the profit margin off the top before you even get started. No. You got more to do. If you're in America, BMI, MLC, HFA, MRI, Sound Exchange. You got to do that. And then you actually have to license the material and get it leveraged, meaning, or multiply it. Meaning, some of you all go straight to all the DSPs. That is one form of licensing, but then you got to do other methods of licensing to actually make money. Direct licensing, sync licensing. There's so many other ways to actually license your music so you can actually funnel money back through it other than streaming. Now, check this out. If you don't, let me say this, your label is just an expensive decoration. That's all you got right now. Is a name with an LLC behind it. And maybe a bank account, maybe some credit, right? If you made it through the 60-day record label, you got that. But if you do this right, your label will become an asset that pays you forever and ever, depending on if you don't sell your rights. So I would recommend that you follow for more because we got a lot to discuss.
All right,
You start.
I ain't gonna do him like that. All right, that's Casey Graham. I really enjoy him. He's from Money Music Makeover Show. I watch him on YouTube a lot, but I found his TikTok. He showed up on here. Again, he's really good. If you're interested in the money and the business side, he will break every part of it from publishing, like I said, the composition, the masters, the publishing, the royalties, where to collect it. He's really good. So he's got a lot of great advice, and he's really well spoken at delivering that. So go check him out.
If you do these three things, then you will be successful as an artist. There's basically three things that I said. I was just on a TikTok live with Troy Titley, and I just said, at the end of the TikTok live, I said, you will be unstoppable if you have these three things, these three qualities, essentially. So, number one, and this sounds obvious, but really, really good music. Like, if you just focus on spending your time at the beginning on just like writing the best possible music that you can do, and focusing on that and being just sometimes I realized, like, on my journey that I think one of the reasons why I was successful in a band in Mount Wolf is because I had a level when I moved to London. I started going to gigs and I started seeing like the competition basically, and I basically wasn't deluded. I realized that there was a certain level that I needed to be, like a certain quality, like the music needed to be. And I realized that I wasn't going to get there on my own. So I started collaborating with other people. I was at music college and I met my bandmate, and he was a big reason for why, when you find somebody, often you're in a band, who makes you better. And actually, Chris Martin talked about this when he met the guitarist from Coldplay, who he had songs and then he met this guy who just made his songs sound better. It's like, that is gold dust. And that's what happened with me. And then if you focus then, once you've got really, really good music, if you then focus, as the second thing, on being really badass live, like playing those really good songs that you have and going out and playing live. And I did a TikTok live with Rachel Croft last week, and she started out as a busker. And I think there's so much in that. Like, artists that I coach and, artists on the record label, I encourage them to go out and play live as much as possible. As in, like, start a covers band, or like go and busk on the street, like get the experience, like put in the 10,000 hours, the Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours of going out and playing live, because you'll become more resilient on stage when things go wrong. Like, you'll just become more comfortable in your performance. And so if you've got really good songs, you're really badass live. And this is something that Dave Grohl said, and I remember Brandon Flowers from The Killers as well. Like, if you've got really good songs and you're really badass live, people will come and see you again. Like, you will sell tickets to your shows. And then if you couple that, if you have really good songs, you're badass live, and then you couple that with relentless posting on TikTok with a strategy, like, go and have a look, like, what's working for other artists. And right now it seems to be like a trending text on screen type thing, carousel type post. And then if you couple those things of having really, really good songs and having a badass live show with posting relentlessly, like 3 to 4 times a day on TikTok, there is no fucking stopping you. I swear to God. Like, there is you.
Okay, so he just said something. He just said, if you have this and you have this and you do posting 3 to 4 times on TikTok, and like, it just hit me. It's like, how bad do you want it? Oh, I shouldn't have to post. Oh, I shouldn't have to be a content creator. Oh, how bad do you want it? You don't want it bad enough. And then somebody will be like, oh, that's not fair to say, because you can't judge how much somebody wants it or how much they've been trying for how many years, and they might feel, wilted or jaded. But the avenue and the tools necessary, the shortest possible way for an artist to achieve success is in today's market. It is so quick for anyone to achieve success that they want. Constantly posting, it's attention. It's an attention game. So if you know how to garner attention, and then once you get that attention, you need to lead them to somewhere where they can then consume your content as an artist. So yeah, it is backwards today. If you're an artist, they want to be involved with who you are nowadays before they get involved with your music. Before, you'd be like, yeah, you'd buy the LP or the CD, and you'd look at the cover, and you'd look at the front and the back, and you look at the book, and you'd be like, yeah, this is really cool. This is what, and you'd see the members and who wrote the music, and you'd see who produced it and who the bandmates are, and you'd get obsessed with those people and start studying where they came from, figure out what kind of gear they're using and what kind of lifestyle they had and who they come from and where they come from and such like that. It's the other way around now. People want to know who you are first, and then, oh cool, wow, you make music, wow, let's go check it out. Oh wow, you make really good music, I'm a fan, I'm gonna come back and check you out more and more and more because I like the music you're making. And speaking of which, I'm super excited because exactly what he's saying. I've been making music for a long time. I've had a lot of monikers. Currently I make music under the Venetian Method and Jacob Songs, and I have some new music coming out that is 10 times better than what I've been making, and I've been working towards it. I've been working hard. I've been hustling. I've been making better music, writing better lyrics, and now I'm performing that. I'm rehearsing that as often as I can. I rehearse the music part of it at least once a day, and then the vocals I'm trying to do at least once a week so I can get really good at that. And by next summer I'll be performing, and this is the exact formula that I already had in my mind without even seeing this. I was like, I want to make the best music possible beyond what I've been making, better. I want a song on 93X, which is a local hard rock radio station. That would be a dream come true for me. Not being super famous or not being like a bajillionaire, like having songs that people rock out to because they feel good and it like connects with them. And I'm sure that's what a lot of musicians want. And for me, in order to get there, I would need to have the best music possible, music that's competing with today's music on that station. And then I would need to be performing at that same level so I can start selling tickets and start selling more tickets and eventually selling out small clubs and moving up from there. And then while that's happening, once I have the songs done, I have a couple of shows, I got some merch, then it's easy to make content because you can record what you're doing, you can, record upcoming songs, upcoming content, upcoming merch. So much you can do from there. Another good example is if you watch yesterday's episode with Zepp, he's got the main video and then a behind the scenes content, and it really shows how you can take one piece of content and break it up into multiple pieces. So anyways, we'll move on.
If I was your manager, here's exactly what I would do to make your music a trending audio on TikTok. First, before we even invest a single dime into content or music videos, I would want us to invest in faceless music pages. By doing so, I would create 2 accounts for you, one being a lyric page and the second one being a slideshow page. Bottom line on the strategy is speed. I would post on each account at least twice a day, so that's 4 posts a day, and see which songs are performing the best to help us get an idea on which one we can scale. Now, when it comes to each of these accounts, the style of content that's working for lyric pages are these Brat style videos where you just have casual B-roll with the lyrics on the top. And then for slideshows, there's 3 photo carousels that have been working where it's a hook in the beginning, an intro, and then the lyrics to your music. This is a great playbook because it allows a musician and artist to focus on music and not their content. They don't have to be filming themselves in front of the camera all the time, and it's a great way to test if their music will get any traction without it posting on their main page. Now, if you wanted to save even more time, I recommend using this tool to be able to create lyric videos in seconds. All you have to do is upload your song, choose a content pack.
Okay. Yeah, it's not about the ad, but it's about what he was saying before. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty good advice, because like he said towards the end of it there, where it allows the artist to focus on the music and not focus on them as the piece of content. So if you are an artist and you have some songs coming out and you want to test them, this would be a really cool trick to try. However, when it comes to posting frequently and the consistency of it, make sure that you set a couple up, maybe take 2 hours of a day and make as many as you can, make maybe 5 or 6 for each, and so that would give you 10 or 12, and then schedule the post for the next week instead of trying to do one today, one tomorrow, one the next day, one the next day. You want to make them, if you're going to shoot content or whatever, you want to do it in what's called bulk contenting. So you want to create your pieces of content for your songs and the slideshows. In this example, you take 2.5, 3 hours of your day, make as much content as you can, and then schedule those posts out for the next week, and then you're done. You have something going out for the next week. You can wait till your next scheduled day to do that.
an independent artist or musician looking to get started on TikTok, here's 8 quick tips to help you out. By the way, if you're new here, my name's Josh. I do A&R for a record label called Deep Matter. I run an artist development platform called Somewhere Soul, and I've got a backstage music industry community that's jam-packed full of independent and emerging artists. Anyway, back to the video. So tip number 1 is to forget about sending people to the link in your bio. Just focus on creating and expressing yourself within TikTok. Tip number 2 is to understand that the vast majority of people that see your TikToks will have never heard of you, so remember to speak to them as if they're strangers rather than fans. Tip number 3 is to focus on marrying the music, the video, and the text in your TikToks to create the richest, most engaging experience possible. Tip number 4 is to take one short snippet of your music and use it with loads of different combinations of videos and text headlines. This will help you to create a sustainable strategy going forward. Tip number 5 is that if a post doesn't do well by your standards, that does not mean you can't post it again. The TikTok algorithm is highly unpredictable, and repeat posting is a great way to take some of the strain off the constant need to always be coming up with new ideas. Tip number 6, the algorithm absolutely loves post saves. So think about how you could leverage this. Could you share music production tips? Could you share music playlists that would bring in the right sort of audience? Tip number 7, when attention spans are so short, sometimes it's effective to leverage things in popular culture that people would instantly recognize. For example, you could put your track over an iconic movie scene, or you could reference well-known artists that may share some sort of audience overlap with yours. And then tip number 8, if you do want to spend some money on ads on TikTok, here's a really smart strategy to help out your organic posting in the long run. So what I'd recommend you do is take the same snippet of music, the same video, and then create 10 different versions of that video with 10 different text headlines. Run those ads, see which is the winner, and then repeat the process using the same snippet of music, the winning text headline, but then 10 different videos. This will provide invaluable data for your long-term organic posting strategy. Hope that helped. Follow for more tips.
That sounds like a lot of work. That sounds like work. I don't know if I want to do this as a job. I don't know if I want to do music full-time as a career because it sounds like work.
How you actually...
Oh, now me. I'm doing it full-time. I just got off work, and now I'm doing this, and then I'm going to do some more, and then I got some TikToks to make. And then I actually want to rehearse that song again, or my 7 songs that I have going on. And after that, I'll probably play Art Creators.
Build a fan base as an independent artist. Most importantly, you have to be authentic with everything you do. Everything needs to be uniquely you. People can write hits, but when there's not a connecting thread between you and that fan, then that fan really isn't going to be with you for the long run. They're not going to be able to relate to you. This requires being vulnerable, telling your story, being very unapologetic about who you are. You want to be unique to everyone else in the industry. That's what's going to set you apart. That's what's going to build you a strong fan base. The second thing is you just have to show up on this platform, and you have to find different ways to get your point across. You can't just keep doing these same videos of you just sitting there singing. Yes, that can showcase your talent, but that's not all you should do. Get creative with the visuals. Find ways to tell your story and promote yourself in ways that connects you to the person you're speaking with. Don't forget, this journey is not all about you. It is about the fan base that you bring along with you. That's who's gonna sustain your career. It's who's gonna be buying your music, buying your merch, buying your concert tickets. So with any piece of content you make sure you're always pointing it back to the person that you're speaking to. Make it all about them. Make it relatable to them. That's how the bond forms. Third thing is play shows. Play a lot of shows. Touring is damn expensive, so just be warned. If you go on the road, make sure you have as minimal people as you have to have on the road with you. Maybe the show that you have to start out with on your first tour isn't as big of a production as you normally do. That's okay. That's kind of how you have to start. It's a slow build. One step at a time. You can't be going on the road and losing your ass and money and feel okay about doing it again, right? But getting in front of the people, playing shows, forming relationships with other bands, other venues, promoters, like that's just gonna get your name out there. And there's no better way to hook someone on your music than to get them in person, seeing you live during a show and meeting them at the merch table and getting to know them. And it's really all about the personal relationships. I hate to say it, it's like the Taylor Swift way. She met a ton of people, and that's kind of what you have to do to make an impact. There is so much noise on this app On the DSPs, there's so much music and people just don't know which way to go as consumers anymore. So you have to stand out, you have to be unique. And one way to do that is just being authentically you and working hard every single day. Just keep.
No, that's what I'm doing. Working hard every day, just being me. I like business. I like music. The reason I went to school for business is because I didn't want anyone else to tell me what was up. I didn't want to get screwed into contracts. I wanted to know for myself, just like the reason I read books, just like the reason that I studied other things still. I wanted to know for myself. So I went and got an education in entertainment business. And now I found out that I'm passionate about that. I get excited to do my own taxes because I know how to, and I know when I'm able to throughout the year. I'm like, oh, well, I can buy this because this is going to go towards the business, and I'll be able to write that off later. It's going to come back in some form as an investment towards the business. So it's exciting. It's become a joy for me to know how to do that. And it's become a passion of mine to want to be able to spread that and share that, which is why I'm working as hard as I can to do this. I'm still making music. I'm still a musician, but I hope to bring this type of people along with me on the journey. So if you like tips and tricks and music industry hacks, or if you want to know more about publishing or royalties, if you want to learn how to do different camera angles and catch attention, if you want to know what you can and cannot write off on your taxes, if you want to know how to form an LLC or the difference between an LLC and EIN, sole proprietorship, stick around. Hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, share it with your friends. Keep coming back for more because these are what I'm going to share. I'm going to share my experience and my knowledge as I break these down. You're going to get it from somebody that's actually lived it, and knows what they're talking about. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next one. I got one more for you.
What's an underrated promotional strategy you think artists should know about?
This is actually one that major labels use. Whenever you're launching a music video, and you ever notice, like, out the gate, a lot of times, like, music videos within that first 24 hours, like, it got hundreds of thousands of views. This is what you can do. So whenever you're about to release a music video on YouTube, let's say you want to release it like a week from now, upload the video as unlisted. While it's unlisted, you can run advertisements on the video to drive traffic. So what happens is the numbers is gonna go up, the likes is gonna go up. Let's say the day comes that you want to release it, don't switch it to world premiere, you switch it to public.
Yeah, that's a pretty good piece of advice. I haven't tried that one myself, but I could see how that works without like paying for bots or running numbers or anything. Like, it's just a way to push it and promote it because it's unlisted. It has no direction. You can see what's naturally going to take hold of it. So with that all being said, come back tomorrow. I'm going to try and drop another one. I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you later.